Titans, it's Friday, March 19th. I'm Meghna Vedala, and you're watching Cen10 News. In mid-February, Texas was hit with a snowstorm, causing many Texans to go without water, electricity, or power for hours, some for days. Here's Owen covering important information more in depth of the snowstorm.
Last Valentine's Day, Texas got its first sizable hint of snow. However, it was exciting at first. However, the same snowstorm would cause blackouts all over the state and cause almost $200 billion in property damage. Texas's largest electricity distribution facility began rolling blackouts on the 14th. The hope was that it would be enough to save energy and keep costs low while not sacrificing too much in terms of comfort. Originally, they were supposed to last between 15 and 60 minutes, but there was difficulty in getting the power back on. The power ended up being out for hours at a time, leaving many Texans in the cold and in the dark for days on end. Oil and gas production stopped completely, contributing further to the lack of power. Many homeowners now also have to deal with the burst pipes and damages from the storm. The power outages were originally caused by frozen gas fields and wind turbines, with many other factories and facilities closing. The blackouts eventually ended on the 18th, but some were still left without power and water due to damages. Texas has since warmed up with manageable temperatures ahead, but the damages from this one snowstorm could have economic implications for a long time. This is Ian Alves with Cen10 News.
It has officially been one full year since the pandemic began and changed our lives forever. Here's Andrew on how much has changed since then.
March 11th, 2021 marks the date 1 year after COVID-19 officially became a pandemic. While this milestone is not a cheerful one, it is an important time to reflect on what has changed so far and what might happen in the future. After spring break last year, Centennial had to switch to a completely virtual school environment, and that's when students and teachers first encountered all of the challenges put forth by the pandemic. It was certainly different than usual, but we were able to adapt and finish the year. Once this school year started, students were given the opportunity to return to school with extra precautions or continue their virtual learning. We are now over halfway through the school year, and everyone at Centennial has shown incredible resilience. Let's go talk to some of these people right now.
Especially this year because of COVID, most of our stuff is on Canvas or online.
I'm not able to go to the concert or like some socials.
It's just not the same. I think we all miss being together.
Although we can't ever be sure about the future, the good news is that vaccines are currently being distributed to people across the United States. And along with the preventative measures we are already using, they can help us finally get back to normal. Thanks to Centennial's hardworking students and staff, we have been able to make the most of the past year and look forward to a time when the pandemic will end.
As a woman, I am proud of the progress we have made, from being able to vote to getting our dream job. Jacob has more on Women's History Month.
Women's History Month is a month celebrating women's suffrage. We go to Ms. Fitzgerald for more.
Well, I think it's about remembering how far we've come as women in this country, because when the Constitution was written, we couldn't even vote, and women were expected to just be in the home and take care of the family. There are certain expectations of women. Women couldn't get an education. Men were supposed to be the political voice for women, and boy, has that changed since the beginning of our nation's history in 1787. Nowadays, I mean, women can get an education, we can work in the corporate world, we've worked hard to get equal work for equal pay. And so it's celebrating all of those things that we've done as women to come a long way in terms of rights and equality. Well, I think there's lots of different ways. I mean, in terms of class, you talk about, like as a history teacher, those things that I just mentioned, how far we've come and where we're going as in terms of equality for women and women's rights. I mean, we're not done. I mean, democracy is a journey. It's not a destination. But at the same time, there's other ways that society can remember it too. I mean, I've seen lots of social media posts where people talk about International Women's Day, celebrating Women's Month, Women's History Month, and all of those things. So there's a lot of different ways that we can, just remember how far we've come as women.
Wow, thank you for the information, Ms. Fitzgerald. This is Jacob Keeter with Cen10 News.
As we approach the end of the school year, so do STARR tests. This year, however, there will be changes made due to the pandemic. Here's Trent with the facts.
STARR testing is coming up, Titans, the one thing we all know and love. This package will contain all the information you need to know about the STARR tests. The Freshman English 1 STARR test will be on April 6th. The Sophomore English 2 STARR test will take place on April 8th. Algebra will be on May 4th, and the Biology and U.S. History will be on May 5th. The STARR test is required to be in person, and students not taking STARR tests on these dates will be asynchronous. This has been Trenton Email reporting for Cen10 News.
That's all for this time, Titans. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cen10 News. And check out our website for more information at www.cen10news.com. See you next time!